and today I thought that I would do a bookshelf tour because I have not done one yet, and I figured it would be a good time to do it during Vlogmas, so let's get started. Okay, so I do kind of have my books in rainbow, kind of, a little bit. And this is my red and orange shelf, so all my trilogies and duologies and series, they're all not together, they're all spread apart. So yeah, so we'll get started with the red ones first. So the first book that I have up here is Black City by Elizabeth Richards, which is part of a trilogy, and I do have the second book further down, so I'll show you that one when I come to it. And then I have The Power by Rhonda Byron, and that is part of The Secret, which, if you haven't heard about this it's not a non-fiction book. It's not a fiction book. It's a non-fiction kind of self-help book. So these are really awesome. And then I have The Night Circus, which I have not read yet. And then I have Cruel Beauty by Rosamund Hodge, which I have not read yet, but it's like a spin-off of Beauty and the Beast, I believe. And then I have Switched by Amanda Hawking, and this is part of a trilogy, and she also has a series that I have that I love, and that is the Frostfire series, and we'll get into that too. And then I have book 1 of the Precious Gemstones series, Ruby Red by Kristen Geyer. And then I have The Winter's Kiss by Marie Rakowski, and this is the 3rd book in the Winter's Curse series. And then I have A Court of Thorn and Roses by Sarah J. Maas, which I also have not read yet, but I'm waiting for the perfect time to read this because I've heard great things about it. So. And then I have A Wicked Thing, which is a spin-off of Sleeping Beauty. Next I have Forever by Maggie Stiefvater. Maggie Stiefvater. And this is part of a trilogy, the Shiver trilogy. And I started reading this series, or this trilogy, and I didn't really care for it, the first book, so I actually stopped reading it. But I had bought the box set for it, so I just have it. Next I have Crossfire, which is part of the Canyon Chronicles. This is the first book in a trilogy. And then I have Replica by Lauren Oliver. And then I just got this one, and that is Escape by Neil Schusterman. I'm awful with names, so I'm sorry about that. And then I have Reached by Ali Condi, which I have just this one. And this is the 3rd book in the trilogy, and I loved the first book and then didn't really care for the second book, so I read the first one and the second one, but don't have those ones, and I haven't read this one and have it, so I have no idea why I do have this one. Next I have The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. Then I have Poison Princess, which this is part of a series. And then I have What Alice Forgot, which I don't even know how I acquired this book. I think my mom gave it to me, and I haven't read it. And then I have Illuminate, which is part of a duology. I don't have the second book yet. I plan on reading this one, and then I will get the second one if I like it. And then I have The Forgetting by Sharon Cameron. Then I have The Mapmaker's Daughter by Sarah McCoy. The Law of the Garbage Truck, which is a self-help book, which you will realize that I have quite a few of these. My husband reads a lot of these, which my whole bottom shelf is self-help books. but I needed a yellow book to put in here, so I put that up here. And then I have Phoenix, which is the second book in the Black City trilogy. Next I have Insurgent, which I don't have the sleeve for. I have no idea what happened to the sleeve of this. It's upside down and backwards, but yeah. So next we are going to move down to the blue and green shelf, and I have this cute little Khaleesi pop figure, which is super cute. I love it. And I keep her by my blue stuff because she has a blue dress on, but I'm just gonna set her up here for now. Okay, so first I have, well, yeah, let's start right here. On this shelf I have The Love That Split the World by Emily Henry. Then I have Storm Siren, which I believe is part of a trilogy. This is the first one. I haven't gotten the rest of them, so I wanted to read this before I bought the next one. Next I have The Beauty of Darkness, which is part of the Remnant Chronicles by Mary E. Pearson. And this is the third book, which I've read the first and second half of the second book. I need to finish those. And then I have Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. And I actually have not read any of the Shadowhunter books, but this is like a spin-off of those, and I haven't read it yet. I just picked it up a while ago when I saw it at the store. And then I have The Young Elites by Marie Lu, and this is the first book, and I have the second book, but I don't have the third book yet, and I haven't read the second book yet. I actually just got it, and I read this one like 2 years ago. And then I have Shatter Me by Taylor Mafi. Really bad about putting these back. This is my tight shelf, so it's like really hard to put these things back. And then I have Torn, which I think this is the second one of the Switched trilogy. So oh, I do have the second one, Crossed. This was the second book to the Matched trilogy. So I have the second one. I don't have the first one. And then I have Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, which I started reading with my kids, but got a little bored in the beginning. And then I have Shiver by Maggie Stiefvater. I have The Siren by Kiara Cass, and I really loved this book. I love Kiara Cass. She's amazing. I love all her books. And I have Passenger by Alexandra Bracken. And I have Stealing Snow by Danielle Page. What Light by Jay Asher, and I also did really love this book. And I just got this one last month, and it is Let It Snow. And then I have my Kindle Paperwhite, which I never use because I'm more of a physical book person, but I made my husband buy this for me, and I never use it. Then I have The Iron King, The Sin Eater's Daughter, Splintered, which I still haven't read, but I've heard really amazing things about it, so I really do want to read this really bad. The Kiss of Deception, Linger, Emerald Green, and Ascend. Next we have my purple and the start of my black books. And so we have The Heart of the Trail, which is the second book in the Remnant Chronicles. We have The Jewel by Amy Ewing and something like that. which is the first book in a trilogy. Our third one just came out last month, I believe. Then I have The Crown by Kiara Cass, which I have loaned out like all of my selection series books. This is part of a series. This is like the spin-off of the selection series, kind of. This is the second one in that. My mom has all my other ones, which she actually introduced me to the books, and then I let her loan them out, or I loaned them out to her. And then we have Ice Kiss, which is part of the Frostfire series. It's the second one. And then Wrath in the Dawn. Crystal Kingdom, which is the third book in the Frostfire series. Sapphire Blue, which I believe this is the second one in the Precious Gemstones trilogy. Magonia. Yeah. The Graces by Lori Eve, and I'm super excited to read this book, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. In the Night by Sarah Porter. Independent Study, which is the second book in the testing series. I believe there are 3, so in the trilogy. And I read the first one, and I started this one, but I never finished this one, and I don't have the first book anymore. Juliet, which I just picked this up at Dollar General one time. The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken, which I really didn't like this book, so I never got any of the other ones. Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. I love that name, Leigh Bardugo. I love saying it. It's awesome. Same with Tahara Mafi. I love those names. It's kind of weird, but. Then I have The Winter's Crime by Marie Grukowski, which is the second book in the Winter's Curse series. And then I have Three Dark Crowns by Kendar Blake. The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. The Emerald Talisman, which I got this one because my little sister told me that it was really good, so I grabbed it. I haven't read it yet. Shade of Vampire by Bella Forrest. And Miss Pettigrew's Home for Peculiar Children. So next I have this is the last shelf of my books under here. This is my husband's self-help books that he likes to read, and he doesn't do a very good job of setting them up. Well, he said it's because he doesn't have any room, because I take up all the room, so. Anyway, so I'm going to start with these books over here. So this one is Dead Ice by Laurel K. Hamilton, which I got for my birthday and I haven't read yet. And then I have The Lesser Bohemians by Emar McBride. A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. Rewinder by Brett Battles, which I really wanted to read this one. I just haven't gotten around to doing so yet, but I'll have to soon. Frost by MP Kozlowski. Rising Strong by Brienne Brown, which this is a self-help book too that my grandma gave me, or loaned me. The Diabolic by S.J. Kincaid. Glitter by April Lynn Pike, and these two books I do have a book review for. A lot of these books, but these ones I just did a book review over, so I will link those below so you guys can check those out. Snow Like Ashes by Sarah Ruska. And I've heard really great things about this trilogy. I haven't read this yet, but I've heard a lot about it on, well, she's Haley in Bookland now, but she was Pale's Hearts NYC. Then I have Graceland, and that's part of a trilogy, I believe. The Winter's Curse by Marie Grukowski. This is the first book in that series, or I mean trilogy, not series. Yeah, it's trilogy. The Glittering Court by Rochelle Mead. The Fifth Wave, which I got a couple chapters into and then stopped reading because I watched the movie, which I shouldn't have done. Gone Girl, which this is in big print, so that's why it looks really big. My mom got it for my grandma and she never read it, so she gave it to me. Divergent, which I have no idea what happened to my Allegiant book, which is my favorite one, so I'm gonna have to rebuy that because I can't not have that book. The Rose Society by Marie Lu, which is the second book in that trilogy. Fate of Flames by Sarah Raleigh. Labyrinth Lost, which I'm really excited to read. The Lie Tree by Frances Harding. Oh, that's upside down. A Shadow Bright and Burning by Jessica Clues. And Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. And then, like I said, all these books down here, just disregard them because they're my husband's books. I could show you those, but I don't think it would interest anyone who watches these channels. So that is it for my bookshelf tour. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!